What's going on, everybody? Stephen J. Gaither, and you're watching HBCU Game Day. We got a very special guest for you guys today. He is a rising sophomore on the field. With the COVID thing, he'll have to tell you exactly where he is outside of that. But for Elizabeth City State University, his name is Joe Hayes. He is also got something very special coming up soon, which we'll talk to him about in a second. But first off, let me welcome Joe to. Let me welcome you to HBCU Game Day. How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being up here. It's always been a dream of mine, honestly, doing stuff like this. So it's pretty cool doing this with you, especially with the platform that you have with HBCU Game Day. It's honestly a blessing. So thank you.
Oh man, great to love to see folks doing great things, especially young people. And you yourself, even though you're still young yourself, you're already seeing the benefits of giving back. I know you have you've got a camp coming up, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. July 9th, 2022. It's going to be the first annual Hayes Stacking Days inaugural youth football camp. It'll be at Churchland Elementary from 1 to 3:30, and it'll be coached specifically by over 20 college athletes from the 757, every position group from quarterback to defensive back to D tackle. We're going to have everybody there that plays college football or played college football coaching your son. So honestly, I wanted to switch it up. I wanted to do something different, give back to the community because just where I'm from, it's a lot of violence, a lot of things going on. So I feel like kids need that outlook. They need that they need to see something better than what they see on an everyday basis. So I felt like bringing college athletes out there and showing them the way, like, yo, you can make it out no matter what circumstance, no matter what you're going through in life, where you from, what's going on. Like, there's a way out and you can be successful. I felt like it was just perfect, honestly, bringing real life proof and using my peers and college athletes that I know to come out and coach the kids. So like I said, it's going to be over 20. And then right now, the way I'm working, it might be pushing like 40. I got a few former NFL guys. I'm trying to get some current NFL guys to come support, also come be a part of it. Community leaders, artists, DJ, photographer. I'm just really doing this thing big. I'm switching up the plan because I remember when I was younger, a lot of the youth camps we went to were just coached by volunteers and like dads that coach football. It's not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's different when you got somebody that's living, breathing, and walk those shoes than when you got somebody that's just seen it on TV, watch videos, or heard somebody talk about football and then try to reciprocate what they heard or saw. Us college athletes, we plan on Saturdays, so we know what it's like to be in the fire. We know what it's like to be in those meetings. We know what it's like to go through camp. We know what it's like to go through the everyday basis of being a student athlete on the next level. So basically, my whole objective and my whole thing with the camp is I want to show the kids and mentor the kids and basically give them gems along with other athletes, give them gems and basically give them the things that way they can be successful and also avoid some of the pitfalls that we messed up on. So being with that it's going to be like 2 hours and 30 minutes. I mean, it's not going to be anything where we can like talk a hole in their head, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot of teaching. It's going to be a lot of learning. It's going to be a lot of opportunity for them to just soak a lot of things in and really just get that feel for everything like that. Because honestly, I feel like with the kids, we connect more than like a coach. I feel like a 40, 50-year-old coach, they can't really connect to a 8 to 14-year-old like we can because we're seeing more as peers. We're seeing more as big brothers and more so just like that cousin that I'm saying they like and they love. So with that, that's just my whole outlook on it. This is the first camp in history where it's going to be at this magnitude, especially with the NIL thing. College athletes are just now able to use their name, image, and likeness and do stuff like this. So I saw around the country, people were doing it, but I wanted to put my own twist to it. But at the same time, I've been having this thought in my mind for the past 2 years. But with COVID and everything else like that, the opportunity just wasn't there. And a lot of people that do this, they wait until they get in the NFL. But now that the NIL is a thing, I thought it was just a perfect time really to do it. So I'm switching up, bringing my own little taste to it. And that's why I say it's a great opportunity for kids and then college athletes in general, just to meet other college athletes, network, and all type of things like that. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, man, great stuff. Love to see that for sure, man. And I got to say, man, once your playing days are over, man, you might have a future in marketing and advertising, man, because you sold me on the camp for sure. But just talk to me about, you mentioned NIL, and that's very important. I know that I see you have an NIL deal. You're with Body Armor. How did that come about? And let everybody know what that is.
Honestly, it came about. So I always just been drinking body armor for like the past few years. So I just got the idea, like, why not reach out and see if I get a sponsorship? This was before the NIL thing was even official. So I would just go on Instagram and post a picture of me drinking body armor and tag them, and then kind of put a little funny thing like, hey, body armor, I'm waiting on you to give me the deal. And they would always look at my stuff, like the message, but they would never be nothing like that. So like after that, I kept doing that for like the past 2 years. I even got to the point where I would literally call the customer service line and just speak to a random representative and be like, hey, I'm Joe Hayes, like Elizabeth City. I'm all conference, blase. I do this and a third, post my accolades, tell them about myself, and then basically just see if I could sell it to a customer service rep. And they really have no pool in the company, but I was just shooting my shot. And then I would email the customer service line. I would get the customer service rep's name and email to them. Like for the past 2 years, just being annoying, honestly, just shooting my shot. And for a minute, I didn't even know I had it, like honestly, because they had posted this thing on Instagram where they were like searching for new college athletes to become part of the NIL thing. And I put in my little thing, my little resume, and I sent it. I remember one day it was at practice early in the morning. And then like 2 weeks later, I went home, and then I just seen the box in front of my door, and it had the body armor on it. And it was like, oh, welcome to Body Armor Student Ambassador. And this kind of thing. I was crazy because I literally forgot. I put the thing in, went on about my life. And then 2 weeks later, I got it. So based on my student athlete representative, they sent me a box of like goods, gear, towel, the little body armor drinks. I did a little photo shoot just to kind of like show it off and show that I'm a part of the team. So that's kind of like the basis of it.
Yeah, man. Well, look, persistence definitely helps, off the field and on the field. So let's talk about that as well. So, tell us where you played your high school ball at, and how you ended up across the state line over at Elizabeth City State.
All right. So I started at Nansen River School in Suffolk, Virginia. I'm from Suffolk, Virginia, born and raised. So I started there freshman to junior year. Situation happened. It just wasn't the best for me. So I ended up transferring schools. I went to IC Norcom. That's a school in Portsmouth, Virginia. From there, that's kind of really where I got my opportunity to shine. I started getting the ball a lot more. I made a lot of plays. Finally was able to get some film. Senior year, still wasn't awarded any offers. Went to a lot of camps, showed out, was in front of a lot of college coaches, took a lot of visits at the end of the year, but things just never worked out. It always seemed like the coach really loved me. And then when it came down to like the offer time, it was, how we're going to go with someone else, or we're going to get a preferred walk on. So that was honestly tough. And then honestly, I really didn't have anywhere to go. And then my homeboy, he had committed to Elizabeth City. So I just texted him. I was like, hey, you think you can put me on with the coach? And then he put me on with the coach Red. I texted Coach Red. He was like, hey, you can come in, but you're going to be a preferred walk on. I was like, that's all I need. All I need is a chance. And then especially since Elizabeth City isn't too expensive, it was kind of a win-win because it's close, it's 45 minutes, and then it's not ultra expensive. So paying out of pocket definitely is tough, but it wasn't too bad to where I had to be paying $40,000 a year, if that makes sense. So I got that opportunity, redshirted my freshman year, didn't play, didn't get opportunity at all. And then sophomore year, COVID hit, I went home, and instead of sitting down and just moping and thinking, oh, football ain't coming around, I just took that opportunity and was like, I'm gonna work. So waking up at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday, every day, like from January all the way till I went back to school the next January, like literally just grinding. It was nothing else to do, honestly. Like I just put my head down. I was like, I'm gonna lock in with football. So I started watching film every day, started working out 2 times a day. I'm going to sleep on time. I'm not partying. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I'm not doing the extra things that people see as distractions, because I knew where I wanted to get and I knew what I was trying to do. And once I put my head down, I just grinded, everything took off. Like I started getting better. I got more explosive. I got faster. I got stronger. I started at college at 135 pounds. That year where I went home and just grinded, I got all the way to 160. And it was just me, from the hard work, the dedication, everything that I put in, and just really locking in and staying consistent, stacking days, as I say, just compound interest, adding those days little by little by little. And then eventually I got to where I was at. I came back sophomore year. We had spring ball. I ended up earning a starting spot. And the season came. I ended up earning a scholarship. And then after earning a scholarship, I earned all conference, and then I earned being a team captain. So it just came with time, effort, and just consistency. And when I was down bad and when like I was nobody and when nobody believed in me and nobody thought I was going to be anything, I always just believed in myself and I didn't need anybody else. I wrote my goals down of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be all conference. I wanted to get the body armor thing. I wanted to do certain things that I'm doing now, like the camp. I wrote my goals down 2 years ago and I just said, I'm going to do it regardless. A lot of people probably, if I would have told a lot of people my goals, they really would have laughed at me. Like people don't understand like what I did and what it took to get where I am. And I still got a long way to go. So I don't want people to think I arrived or anything like that. But I'm just saying all that to say like, this took a lot to get where I am. So basically just to inspire people, anybody that's seeing this, like if you're the smallest, if you're not the fastest, if you're the weakest, if you a bench warmer, if you're not the best, none of that matters because at the end of the day, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. It's about the last man standing. So if you're willing to put that work in and just consistently get better and do what you got to do, everything else will take care of itself when you get that opportunity. So that's my story.
No doubt. Very good. Very inspirational. And as far as, we're in June now, before it'll be July and it'll be time to go back for camps in August. New head coach for you guys, Coach Hilliard, new coaching staff. What are they bringing in there for you guys as you guys look forward to continuing to trying to turn the tide over at Elizabeth City this year?
Honestly, first of all, they brought in discipline. Like that was the first thing they brought in. Like, it's like, okay, we coming in, we putting our foot down. We're not going for all that extra stuff. It's either get right or get left. You missing, don't worry about it. You got bad grades, don't worry about it. You're not committed, don't worry about it. You coming late, don't worry about it. We don't need you. Like it was on some type time where it was like, it doesn't matter if you were the top dog or if you were the lowest person. The standard is the standard. And they came in and said that from day one and it's implemented. And now I feel like that's going to really get the ball rolling and change it. And then another thing, they just brought that swag to the program. Like before, we ain't really had no swag. We ain't had no identity. Now they coming in, they bringing that swag, they bringing that aura. When we had practice, we competing like every day. Before last year, 2 years ago, practice was dead. People was just dragging their feet. It's just, we out here. But now when they come, like, oh yeah, we getting after it. Like to the point where it's like, people be about to fight. I mean, to some people that may be bad, but like if you play football, like you need that. When you got dogs going against dogs, you got people competing every day. Like, yeah, you gonna get that out of people. So they definitely bringing that swag and then that discipline. So with that being said, they just changing the culture. They bringing a lot of new people. You know what I'm saying? So things are going up. Honestly, I believe it. I not that I think, I know we're gonna win the conference.
Like that confidence. Well, Mr. Hayes, make sure everybody knows where they can follow you on social media. And again, we'll give them the information as far as the who, what, where, when, and why on your event.
Yes, sir. On social media, Instagram, the business page for the camp is HAYE 22 LLC. It has all the information, the link in the bio, the description of the camp. My Twitter is _LILJOJO6. So also same thing, link in the bio. It's got all the video description of the camp and then everything like that. I got a website also where you can register online and get details for the camp if you want to donate or be a sponsor. And the website is HAYE22LLC.com. So everything's basically kind of the same. Got a whole little, just keep everything in tight. So yeah, so if y'all got any questions, anything like that, just DM me, let me know. So we'll get this thing going. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, look, definitely appreciate you, everything you're doing. Appreciate you, your perseverance, your not giving up and just, being an inspiration to the young folks that are there in Suffolk. I'm sure they're going to really enjoy the camp. So I appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll be checking in with you at some point during the season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it.